My mum has always been interested in photography, and so growing up I very often had the opportunity to pick up a camera. I always felt like automatic mode was cheating, so would often flick the camera onto manual. I would attempt to take a picture, which would inevitably end up either completely white or completely black. Sound familiar? After failing, I would apologize to automatic mode, hope for her forgiveness, and wish we could be friends again. I would eventually get a very bad approximation of the photograph I wanted to achieve. Frustrating. It just all seemed so difficult and confusing. So many dials and buttons, combinations of shutter speeds, and numbers beginning with F. After cluelessly fumbling around for too long, and then quickly giving up after convincing myself that it was all too hard, several things eventually clicked. 1. I was lazy too. It is all too easy to go back to automatic mode and say no more about it. 3. The internet is your friend. Seeing the light. After seeing several captivating and inspiring examples of long exposure landscape photography, my partner Effie and I were caught by the bug. It didn't take us long to Google and find what we needed to know to achieve our photographic goals, and hey presto, we were dialing in apertures and ISOs like no tomorrow. The only problem was we still had no idea what any of it really meant. Now here comes the clever bit. The key to eventually finding out what all those numbers meant. Persistence, perseverance, and photographs. We are all too often guilty of giving up on something because it's too hard. We don't understand it because we don't have time. Perhaps you need to alphabetize your CD collection. The list of excuses goes on, and cutting it off is something most of us are used to doing. So really, how do you use your camera in manual mode? You do exactly that. Use it in the beginning. Shutter speed, ISO, and aperture will baffle you like they did me for so many years, until after experimenting, reading, and learning it will click. The day that it all made sense to me came even after reading about the 3 important settings of manual mode. More than once, simply thinking that I understood it wasn't enough. Hands-on, snapping away, taking photographs is what will give you the ability to achieve the photographs you want. It may seem daunting, but stick with it, and I promise you will be rewarded with beautiful, inspiring photography. One day after playing with your settings and achieving not much less than the familiar white images of huge overexposure, you will toggle the dials in their respective correct direction, and a photo will become out. Magic. Whether or not it's the photo that you imagined is another question, however that is all part of the beauty. Turn that dial to the big M and get snapping.